break its power. I break its power. I break its power. I break its power. Come out of here now.
A lot of my cousins were into the Santa Muerte, and that's where it started. It started with Santa Muerte, and I wanted something. I saw this video and I was drunk, I was high, I just got out of a relationship, and in my drunken stupor I told God, I said, you know what, if you real, send me a wife. Send me a wife, send me a godly wife, and I'll stop playing with me, I'll stop playing with you. But of course, I mean, I was the only one that was, playing around. Short time later, this girl started messaging me, we started talking, and she was in the church and everything. She ended up backsliding, and we ended up getting married. God told me in a dream. I remember in this dream, it was just like, there was nothing around me. There was all darkness, but I felt that, that God was talking to me, because I heard a voice and it said, I gave you a wife. Why haven't you married her yet? And I woke up. And I was sweating and just a bunch of stuff. And I remember we went down to Corpus Christi, Texas, and we got married on the beach. Short time after that, we have been having some issues, and we came here to San Antonio. Matter of fact, came here to San Antonio, and we're having a date night. Well, it just so happened that highway right there on 410 was closed down. They had to get off to the access road. So we had to go down to the access road, and sure enough, there's a revival out there. There's like this outreach. I'm like, what's that? My wife's like, oh, that's my old church. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we stopped by there, and I said, if you know anybody, go ahead. She's like, I want you to come with me. I'm like, all right, cool, fine. But if I don't like it, I'm gonna walk away. So I went there, and this lady just walked up to me and started telling me everything I was doing wrong. At that time, I was selling drugs. I was doing all that. And I'm thinking in my head, man, who's she been talking to? But I knew God was giving her a revelation to get a hold of me and open my eyes. So I started coming to church. And then God just started moving in my life. One day I told my wife, I said, I gotta go by myself. If I don't go by myself, it ain't gonna work. So I came, and I remember just God breaking me down. He just started getting that thing and started chiseling away everything I started going through. And these last couple of months, it's been a battle, but God has definitely been moving. He gave me a wife. He took me out of the world and brought me into a godly business. I'm now a business owner. I now have my own business, and he took me off of drugs. I've been sober. I don't sell drugs anymore. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. And that was the hardest thing. I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 12 years old. And he took all that out of my life. He restored me and my wife's marriage when we thought that there was no restoration to be left in that marriage. All I know is that God really changed my life. I never thought he could. He got a hold of me through just sending people on my way, putting people on my path that I would never ever just associate with. I used to be people who were all tatted up and gangsters and holding guns. And now I found myself in a room with people who are jumping around and praising to God. When all I know is that God can definitely definitely change your life. If you truly want it, he gonna change your life. If you don't want it, it ain't gonna happen. But he moved in my life just by finally opening my eyes, letting me know that there is life. You don't have to go through death all the time. You don't got to be in destruction. You ain't got to be in dismay. That if you truly seek this, God will show you. He'll give you what you ask for.
God called you. He pulled you out today. You understand? Do you want to be used? Do you want God? He wants you.
Well, tonight we came to Daniel Adams Deliverance. Me, my wife, and a sister of mine decided to come out here. And earlier this week, I went through deliverance, and I thought everything was done. And I remember seeing Daniel Adams on YouTube, and I remember seeing him on YouTube. I kind of was skeptical, hey man, this dude just go touch somebody he follows, or this dude would just come over here and just all of a sudden demons would start coming out. But I'm talking about there was at least 1,500 people here, and there was a bunch of people at the altar. And I remember he's walking back and forth. I remember he said, man, if you really want deliverance, you feel like God can change, you can get delivered, come to the altar. I remember walking up, and he said, as you're walking up, that demon's gonna manifest and go. And I remember walking up, and I started breaking down. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I started feeling, I thought everything was gone, but it truly wasn't. So I started walking up, and I broke down, got on my knees. I remember standing back up, and I'm crying, and I'm just looking up, and I'm mad. I'm just mad at certain things. And I remember he looked straight at me and starts telling me, don't. He starts telling me, don't give up. All the mistakes you made, let that go. It's like, bro, what you talking about? Like, you don't know me? Like, I'm thinking that in my head. I remember he was telling me, and then he started telling me everything that was literally going on. Literally that's been going on. And I remember he just looked into me, and I just started feeling this weight come off me. I started feeling like if somebody literally took a weight off my chest, took a weight off my shoulder. I know a lot of people say that, but man, it literally feels like that. It feels like you've been weighed down, and I thought I had got everything delivered, but apparently there were still some things left, and I got free tonight. It's hard to explain in words if you haven't gone through it, but true freedom. I've never felt a freedom like this. And just Daniel Adams' anointing, the way God uses him is just mighty. God will use people in so many different ways, and you will never experience it unless you come look for it. And I know he delivered me today. I know he set me free. I know he delivered my wife today from some things she was going on, and I know he can deliver anybody that truly seeks. If you want to get delivered, God will deliver you. A man like me, they used to go into people's houses and tie them up and steal everything they had. I just put guns in people's head. I've been shot at. I've been stabbed 5 times. If God can change a no good person that I was, he can change anybody. All I know is don't give up. Because once you start giving up is when the devil finally has a hold of you. He'll take you and he'll make you feel defeated. And just keep going. Go through the storm. You go through everything else in the world. Why not go through the storm? At least at this storm, at least this tribulation, at least these trials will be worth it at the end. Because you'll find life, not death.